welcome everyone to a game between JorDan and Viper. Viper playing here in the blue as the Byzantines, starting off on Acclivity, and this is Empire Wars, so we'll get right into the action. Also on the other side, we have Mr. JorDan playing as the Japanese. So we have a nice matchup here. Two civs that are probably randomed into, not civs that you would necessarily pick for either of these maps. Not bad civs, though certainly Japanese and Byzantines are quite good. Japanese with their cheaper lumber camp buildings and their faster attacking infantry, and their relatively pretty solid tech tree against the Byzantines with a relatively pretty solid tech tree, although missing some vital late game upgrades, but getting that cheap trash and missing bloodlines as well. See JorDan going ahead and walling up, going into scouts. Viper going straight into the archer skirmisher play. Looks like he even started out with the skirmisher, saw the scouts transition into archers. So he was expecting, looks like, archers from our Japanese player, which I would have as well. There is an archery range now, pumping out some archers. Viper also getting those side walls up, getting himself protected. Both players just kind of dancing around at the moment. No damage has been done as Viper's able to push these scouts away for now with the spearmen. These scouts circling, finding another spearman. They take the fight though. 3-1 is not a bad trade as you get. Yeah, that's not what you want though. As you can take out a spearman pretty effectively with 3 scouts, but not when that happens. Not when you run into a second spearman. The archers are on the way, but the archers for Viper are arriving at JorDan's base. However, there will be 3 scouts and 2 archers to protect this. I think JorDan will be just fine. I think he'll be able to pop out with the archers, snipe down that spearman, trap that. Yep, there we go. There we go. Oh, come on. Yep. Snipe down the spearman. Does so. He'll be able to clean up the rest of the archers and army pretty quickly as he's got it fully surrounded. Nicely done by JorDan. Viper moving in just a bit too deep. Seeing all those flags. Should have realized, hey, this is going to turn out pretty badly for me as the KD now 8-2 in favor of JorDan. JorDan takes a bit of a lead in the game. Then it seems with a 10-5 military count heading across the field with scouts and archers, which is a pretty deadly combination. Our Byzantine player, the Viper, making skirmishers, archers, and spearmen, trying to find an answer to this composition. As these 10 units come charging in on the wood line, JorDan has to back away, as there are 3 spearmen. But if the spearmen close in, see, they get sniped off by the archers. If the archers, the skirmishers close in, the scouts run in. It's a very, very good force. And JorDan applying pressure, Viper trying to deal with that. Nothing happening over at JorDan's base. This is what you like to see as a player. Oh, JorDan decides to take the fight. I don't know if this is going to be good. Just taking the fight head on and leaving 1 spearman alive. Okay, it was good. In fact, it was great. The KD 16-7 now, but Viper has units all over his base. The skirmishers are getting taken out by the spearmen. The villagers being picked apart by the archers. Although not many of them going down just yet. And Viper forced to use villagers in defense, taking down the units. But more archers come streaming in. More archers streaming in. Still with 8-4 military lead is our red player, JorDan. Viper pushing him away. Neither player up to Castle Age yet. Viper getting close, but not there just yet. The KD now 24-15 with only 2 villagers killed by JorDan and none by the Viper. These archers forced away. Now it's 8-6 military, very even military, and the defender's advantage means that Viper has pushed JorDan away for the time being. Another archer goes down to these skirmishers, also in danger. Spearman skirm comp by the Byzantines is cheap and effective. scout archer play in the hands of the top player is just brutal. I don't love this. This is a lot of buildings here. It could have been here, here, walling that area off, this area and that area. Instead, it's just going across here, walling that in a pretty poor fashion. The scouts run in and find the spearmen and die. No, okay, the scouts don't die. 4 scouts versus 2 spearmen. Not a single one dies. But Viper's on the way up to Castle Age. JorDan is committing even more heavily to this feudal pressure. He's got forging and scale barding armor, as well as fletching. So these scouts are fully upgraded, I would say. And now some villagers starting to fall. Another third villager down. Or the Viper, who is going to be in Castle Age in 1 minute. JorDan hasn't clicked yet. Now this gold is the only gold that Viper is taking right now, although he is going to be taking this one and dropping a town center here, or this one and dropping a town center here, I would assume, as soon as he reaches the next stage. He doesn't have the wood for that at the moment, but I'm sure he has that calculated, has that planned in, knows what he's doing. And this pressure from JorDan is relentless, a 40 to 24 KD. Only 4 villagers have died. However, that's a lot of units have died for Viper. And JorDan circling around the backside with Spearman. Not going to do anything with that. And no wood at all for the Viper. He drops the town center on the wood up here. I don't love that. Here's why I don't love that. This protects what? A wood line. You know what this protects? A wood line and a gold. Yeah, it's a little wood line, but it gives you some breathing room and it gives you a gold. This gold mine is completely exposed. But now JorDan himself is headed up, so the pressure should ease up here for a couple minutes while JorDan heads to Castle Age. Would have much preferred here or even here, a town center. But Viper built one in the middle of the battle, protect himself in the moment, get the town center up, and he's on gold. It looks like Viper knew better than I did. What a surprise. And has been able to push back JorDan. JorDan continuing into archers. Viper, as the Byzantines heading into cavalry archers. Now, this, T90 mentioned this the other day. He said, you know, now that crossbows are more expensive, he said it makes sense. If you don't have a lot of archers when you get to Castle Age, just go cav archers. If you're a civ that would normally go crossbow. Now, the Byzantines are missing the hit point upgrades there. Cav archers are always going to be down 20 hit points, are they not? Yeah, they are, for sure. That's what they're missing. And another town center here, and again, this protects this little base, but it doesn't expand you outside, doesn't get you any more resources. Now, this gold mine is pretty well saturated already. That's why I don't like this town center either, but it does mean he has this very safe farming eco here. I would have loved to see it here. That's the ideal town center position, right there. Delete these walls, bloop, right there. Protects this gold and a nice big wood line. See, that's not it either. You've got cav archers finding some villagers in the north, and JorDan now having dropped these villagers. Not what you want to see. Viper using the mobility to his advantage. JorDan getting husbandry. And JorDan could just go into cav archers of his own, which would be better, but instead going into knights. Going into Japanese knights. Interesting. Push away the cav archers. He does so for now. And there's crossbowmen all over Viper's base. And JorDan's still holding on to the commanding lead. A university coming down, so the Byzantine player looking at fast imp. Interesting. Not a surprise. Siege Workshop coming down on the front for JorDan. He's going to be heading in. Cav archers have made it all the way back to Viper's base. Still alive. And the knights here. Now, town center here would be beautiful for JorDan. The eco count. Viper is actually pretty significantly ahead in eco count. With 68 to 55 in those numbers. These knights does Viper have? He does not have the second armor, so these aren't really fights you want to take underneath the town centers. It's that second armor that makes the big difference underneath the town centers. Not so much the first one. The first one reduces the damage by about 33%. The second one reduces it by an additional 50% down to 1 damage per arrow from 3 to 2 to 1. Pierce armor math is it's pretty wild how these little differences make such a massive difference in actual number of arrows needed. Mangonel out pressure is going to be mounting on the Viper. Let's see what he's able to do, as he really is, I'm quite certain, headed for a fast imp with the Byzantines, something they're able to do with their cheaper Imperial Age upgrade. A bonus brought to the Byzantines in the more recent years. It's not recent at all, but more recent than what I grew up playing. And Viper's found his way in on the backside and battering away on the front side. Now with a battering ram and a mangonel, he's doing damage with these raids with the knights. I would still say that I would love to see a town center up here, but not happening. Viper 73 to 64 in the eco, but much of it idle, much of it harassed. The worker efficiency last minute you can see down in the 40% numbers. This rams. So here's the deal: your opponent is going for ranged units, and you have military control. You can add in rams. Rams take out buildings more quickly, but you have to be able to protect them. The mangonels can be used against the ranged units a lot more effectively, and even against cavalry units, they're much better protected because the cavalry have to come out and snipe them versus the ram have to go to the building. So it's a matter of, if you have military control, go ahead and add in rams. But if you don't, the rams are a waste of time. And Viper agrees with me. Much later, he says, this is a good place for my 5th town center. And he's not yet on the way to Imperial Age. It looks like he's not going to Imperial Age. He's just going to soak up the pressure. And make villagers. It's like, if I make 5 town centers, I can create villagers faster than you can kill them. That's basically the game plan going on here. And the mangonels are going to be a big problem. This battering ram, you see, when siege is added by the opponent, battering rams become pretty much useless. As, oh boy, squish. It's going to be very squishy here in a second. Down to 17 hit points. Going to get squished. Still dealing with the sore throat, so apologies for the weird throat clearing sound. Definitely getting a lot better. And oh wow, JorDan pulling out the tower rush, and I don't think this one goes up, but this one does for sure. This one's not the one that matters, though. Interesting. Well, Yasama towers. JorDan is like, I can build a lot of towers, turn them into Yasama towers, and then life gets ugly for the Viper. I like that thought process. JorDan, I like these few night raids. Just constant night raids here and there coming in. And good conversion there for the Viper. It's might lose the monk to a spearman. Does so, actually. Wow. And this tower rush stimmied on both sides. Now, Viper, JorDan has the military to make this happen. He's just focused on so many things at once. And Viper, not bothering to deny this one, going to go ahead and batter it down before it ever comes up. Get rid of the stone. It's not a bad play. Not a bad play at all. Tower might go up, but it's going to go right back down. And yes, Viper brings this little army around of knights to... Oh, and JorDan, dance with the villager, dance. Oh, he's going to die. No, he does not die. And all these... Oh, he does. One skirmisher stayed back. Said, I will kill him. And Viper. And JorDan laughing about that one, I would say. That's potentially what they're laughing about. As now JorDan's going to have to bring forward some more villagers. And you got to delete that. You can't... No. JorDan. That's a waste. This Viper is now on the way to the Imperial Age much more quickly than JorDan. 103 to 90 villagers. The Eco KD 14 to 8 in favor of JorDan, but 104 to 90. And yeah, that tower goes down. I don't know what JorDan was trying to accomplish with that one. This tower is going to go up, and it will be an annoying position. Not that annoying. These are still watchtowers, and it's watchtowers for both. I thought it's a guard tower coming in for one player. I guess it got canceled. There's a couple monks, 3 monks in play, and that's enough monks. Yeah, to really cause some issues for the siege back here. Not so. If I would grab those monks, I think, well, no, there's enough crossbows and knights back there. Wouldn't have worked out to run back. Now, JorDan runs in, is able to snipe down 2 of those monks, finds a third. He's going to go for that one. No, he's not. He's going to instead lose another. Wow, that was a fast conversion. But, oh, wow, had the sword up and died instead. Those 5 town centers has now moved down to just 3 town centers. There's towers being added to protect and hold these positions. And the knight is a problem. These knights are a problem. As I said, these converted knights able to squish down 3, able to take out all 4 mangonels. That's going to stimmy this push. And Viper adding a castle. Going to say, no, this is now my base. All right, you pushed me far enough. I can't take anymore. But there's a lot of military here for JorDan. There's a lot of military here for JorDan. If he had siege, he could deny this castle. Without siege, it's going to be a little bit tough as he adds another tower. And I would love to see these upgraded to guard towers. Come on, man. The military heads back out. JorDan microing the villagers like a madman, able to avoid the shots. Well done. And this castle, I think it still goes up until the siege gets out here. You've got to get the siege out here. Once the siege is out here, then you can deny it. Even a couple towers are not going to deny the siege. And there's the guard tower upgrade coming in. That's what you want to see. And Viper concerned for sure here. Unable to gain military control for so long. Soon teching into Arbalest, though. And the Arbalesters are going to be a little bit more of a problem. But Mangonel's coming out, continuing to come out. These towers don't care about Arbs. That's the thing. JorDan has gone Knight Siege Tower. And continuing to add towers here and there and all over the place. Something that Viper has not answered to just yet. Up here, if this tower goes up, it doesn't. Yeah, if that tower goes up, it would have been a big deal. It did not go up. But Yasama needs to be put in here for JorDan. These towers aren't that effective just yet. I mean, they're definitely something, but nothing like their peak. And JorDan heads in for the Night Raids, and that's going to be the castle position. I think I like that. As long as you maintain military control, JorDan. Don't lose all your military. And I do think this castle has gotten denied as long as JorDan pays enough attention to it. But I don't know if this castle goes up. This castle may also be denied. That's a lot of Arbs, and there's no defense from those Arbs. JorDan, you're throwing this game. JorDan. Now, does this get destroyed or deleted? I think that got destroyed. Now, JorDan has agreed. He's backed up. I think you've got to place this castle with military, JorDan. And he's lost enough. Unfortunately, lost enough resources, and he decides to place it there. Now, that place position, it accomplishes a lot. Not as much, certainly. Certainly not as much. But that one tower is not enough to hold it for now. You've got to get some military over there, JorDan. Viper did lose this castle, which is a big, big deal. And these towers aren't Yasama towers because, oh, bombard cannon. Run in there and snipe that. You've got knights, JorDan. JorDan, notice this. Okay, I think it's alright. I think the castle does indeed go up. And this tower was being built. JorDan, you gotta notice, this is a messy game. A lot of things to see and notice. And look at this villager repairing from far, far away. The siege still attack grounding the castle. Gonna kill the villager slowly. This bombard cannon stuff over here. Shooting away, but bombard cannons don't do a whole lot of damage. You need either quite a few bombard cannons or... ooh, this is another bombard cannon. You either need several bombard cannons. Now the castle's up. Yasama is what you need to research. And you got to start repairing that right away, JorDan. Oh boy. This is looking dicey for JorDan. Viper is potentially making this happen. However, a lot of dead Arbalest. And I think this castle's going to go down. Imperial H is on the way in now for JorDan. JorDan needs to find a way to make this work with the military lead, or sorry, with the eco lead now and the map control lead. JorDan can actually afford to sit back a little bit. Now, this castle was pretty suspect, I do have to admit. Why are you building a castle? These aren't Yasama towers. Why do you go into these towers so consistently when you're just going to lose them? I guess it's to hold the position for as long as possible. You need Yasama for these towers. Look at how fast they're going down now. There's an knight. There's one knight, a knight back there, and JorDan going into regular plain old skirmisher. It's going to be lead skirm here in just a moment, trying to stabilize and get military control back in. I think this skirm switch will do the trick. I do like JorDan's position much better. He made it messy, made it tough on Viper. Viper did great defense, got to Imperial H, has now pushed it back, but as he pushes across the map, JorDan has taken eco control, map control, and uh-oh. He's going to have to find a way to deal with these little knight raids that the Byzantine player is pushing out now. Still not Yasama towers, and the elite skirm's going to be moving forward to save these towers, I'm quite certain. Right? Imperial H is now in. Still no castle to get Yasama, and these villagers are dying. But it's okay. Ecos are even, militaries are relatively even. Some more upgrades are brought in. Now these towers, I guess, were just here to be a buffer, be a shield to make the game last a little bit longer. As JorDan wants to get the upgrades before engaging. Which is not a bad idea. Definitely not a bad idea. Have to match your opponent with upgrades. And JorDan ran off over here with these villagers, taking that knight with him. However, Arb's heading around to the back of the base. That's not what you want to see. And really, the map positions has stabilized, each player having their half of the map. And fighting over the middle, it's very stable at the moment. Now JorDan needs to find some more stone. And there's more stone for him to find. Now JorDan going to be heading out across and going to be sniping off these two bombard cannons. Viper sees it and runs away quickly. Knights or light cab going to be added in a hurry. Knights definitely. Yeah, these bombard cannons are goners. Have to be goners, right? Come on. That's a lot of Arbalest. A lot of firepower coming down. Oh no. The bombard cannons survive. All the skirmishers are going down. What? Yeah, I agree, JorDan. I agree. That was wild. Look at that. The skirmishers wrecking the scouts, but can't deal with the bombard cannons. And these Arbalists going to be finding their way into a skirmisher trap. The light cav are around for JorDan. See, has no issue with the skirmishers, and that was weird. That fight was definitely not what I expected to see. And the Arb's going to be moving forward. The Arb's bombard cannons. You'd think this army would wreck this army, but that hasn't been the case just yet. JorDan running away with the military that he needs, looking to find some damage, but that's not the play. I don't think. There's siege here. This is going to push into your base. Finding what he needs to get rid of that army. I hear the battering ram. Okay, the battering ram batters. And yeah, JorDan, like, that's not the play. You gotta defend yourself, JorDan. Whole army's over here. trying to find some damage, but these are skirmishers. They're defensive units. They don't find a lot of damage. And trying to defend himself with his reinforcements, but there's not a whole lot of reinforcements. No, Jordan's just headed forward. It's like, this is an army I can't fight. These Arbalists are too good for their counter units, which it really, I think that appeared to be correct. This Knight finding a lot more damage. Now, this Knight down to 20 HP. I think the villagers could turn around and take care of it. They're not going to. Not likely, at least. And I don't love this. When you have the counter units, you do take the fight. And JorDan with a couple of Cav Archers, probably a misclick. They die. Allowing Viper to push into his base as he pushes back into Viper's base. And here we go again. The towers being added, but still, all these guard towers are not Yasama towers. And there's a trebuchet right there. You gotta make Yasama towers. And a market being added in the back with this massive army is here. That tower's... I don't know what JorDan's doing. An elite cataphract switch is gonna end this game. Viper definitely gonna be taking this one. JorDan ignoring the massive army rampaging through his economy. And there's bombard cannons there. The tower is not the play. Keep being researched only to watch the keeps fall. One capped ram. And I think JorDan is about to call the GG, but I think he misplayed this. I think he had a great position. When the elite cataphracts arrive, that's going to be GG. Although, no elite cataphracts being created just yet. Alright, finally JorDan decides, I gotta deal with this. And he can now deal with bombard cannons because guess what? There's no villagers, right? When did bombard cannons get so tanky? My goodness. I've played with bombard cannons and they don't hold up that well to arrows. They just die. That's so crazy. Now the bombard cannons are dead, and JorDan able to focus down these arbs in the middle of his base. A forward castle being added by the Viper, well, central castle. And this keep did clear up a lot. These arbs did clear up a lot, though. And 106, it's Viper actually dropped below in population. JorDan with the military lead and not much behind in the eco. So, the game not over yet. Not over at all, but the elite cataphract switch is going to catch JorDan off guard as he's going heavy into the skirmisher play. And now JorDan needs to drop a castle. Here, somewhere, JorDan, you've got to drop a castle. Got to take control of this game. Got to get Yasama. You still have all these keeps that you've been placing everywhere without Yasama. You've also got to build your monastery. A lot of things need to happen. And just dropping casual lumber camp. It's like JorDan is playing this in not in some aspects like a low elo legend, because he knows Japanese get good towers, so I'm going to build towers. But he hasn't researched the reason Japanese get good towers. Okay, dropping the market. Where's he going to put the castle? He sees this castle now. And like Cav, great addition here for JorDan. Skirmishers also coming in. And this castle under attack by skirmishers as JorDan hasn't yet changed his his rally points. And here are the elite cataphracts. JorDan should be terrified when he sees these. But he can make Japanese helps, which are pretty awesome. This army is just going to melt to 10 elite cataphracts. Continuing to try and drop towers everywhere, but still not getting Yasama. Because he still has no castle. Now he's going to drop the castle. That castle comes up before the cataphracts come forward. JorDan will be alright. But this is getting scary. For sure, a little bit frightening. He's got to time this well. As the armies are melting to the cataphracts. The skirmishers don't do well against cataphracts. Okay? And neither do villagers. Cataphracts are a beast of a unit that deal a ton of extra damage to infantry units. And I think that does include skirmishers. But they wreck infantry and they're solid against other things. They're not, they're not top tier. They're not paladins by any means. But they're like a cavalier maybe that just eats infantry. couple villagers headed over here. JorDan, I think he's going to be playing for the light cav to do it, but there's a lot of golds on this map, and JorDan actually has a lot of... Oh, just switching into ARP. Obviously, duh, what am I talking about? And the population's closing back in on 200 after such a long time away. Wow. Here come the cataphracts. They're good-looking boys, man. The elite cataphracts with that gold around them. Probably all the cataphracts looking good. JorDan dropping more and more not Yasama keeps. He's gotten everything for the keep except what makes the keep actually good. This is so triggering to me, JorDan. Still firing one arrow at a time. The Arbs are on the way, and the Arbs are a counter to the cataphracts, as are monks. That monk had just gathered up the relics. This keep gonna go down. He does have murder hulls, interestingly enough. Castle being added here. A big fight going on over on this side, and no cataphracts involved over here. Light cav and bombard cannons and skirmishers and arbs, really kind of for both people. The bombard cannon for the Viper, the light cav for JorDan. The raids entering in underneath the town center, and that's not what you want to do with cataphracts. Don't attack the farms. And I think JorDan getting the better of this one. These cataphracts do kill this tower. It's non-Yasama keep. And this castle denied for now, but more villagers going to be coming over, and we are going to have a ram train here at some point heading across to this castle at some point, and some trebs as well. So both players prepping for this fight in the middle. Viper already taking it. There's some light cav there, and these are completely unprotected trebuchets. I think that JorDan could run over and snipe that treb off, as he's managed to deny this castle for now. Both players at pretty well pop capped, 190-ish pop. The Arbless taking on the cataphracts, and now they'll melt once they're in close like that, but cataphracts not the best against Arbless. They don't have the most pierce armor, only one base pierce armor with the 4 that they get from upgrades, and only +2 on the attack front. Their attack is a lot of bonus damage, and these light cav were cleaned up. This looks a little frightening now for JorDan. Once again, his army's been chased away. He's forced to run to the middle to try to deal with this attack coming across at his castle, and I think he will be able to deal with this. The Rams get cleaned up for absolutely nothing, but light cav are out to try and deal with some of these bombard cannons. Bombard cannon fired, but no cannonball came out, so that was unique. And the cataphracts running in, trying to do some damage. Oh, but the bombard cannons get the hits. These are like Hufnice. This looks so fake. Look at that. Look at all those dead Arbs. Okay, this is not... Something is wrong with this. And, oh, the Viper accidentally ungarrisons his treb. Sorry, JorDan, and calls the GG. And something, my goodness, seemed like Hufnice on the field the whole stinking time. Those bombard cannons were so strong. Well, this turned into quite a long, grueling game. I wanted to hop on for a quick cast before I headed out to work this morning, and instead I've been here for almost 45 minutes getting set up and getting going. And what did we see? Well, we saw the Viper with better KD, JorDan just with more military, able to keep that pressure on, and a better eco for JorDan. That being pressured the whole time doesn't really help when you have 5 TCs. You know, Viper with 5 TCs wasn't able to keep up with the economy, even though he had more villagers almost the whole game. That imp time with the Byzantines did pay off, just took a little bit longer. Well, actually it paid off right away, as he was able to push everything back for so long. Oh, looks like my game capture finally started working. That's nice. All right, society stats. You can see Viper ended up with a few more villagers. And how fast are these players? Pretty fast. JorDan, 105 APM throughout the game. Very, very quick player. And Viper, no slouch himself, 75 throughout the game. Well, I hope you enjoyed this Empire Wars cast on Acclivity. And I hope you got just as triggered as me by seeing all these Yasama keeps not having Yasama, just being destroyed. JorDan built like 40 keeps probably that game, and none of them had Yasama. So, well, towers, not necessarily all keeps. So dumb. Well, I hope you enjoyed. We'll see you in the next one.